Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking live at No Limits Wrestling Metal, and in the back there you see Triple H. He has some unfinished business with the NWO that he needs to get sorted tonight, but so does this man. The Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and Triple H have reformed D-Generation X, but it is for a limited time only. They have the common goal of taking out the NWO, and they may very well do that live here tonight on Metal. This is the final medal before the NLW Royal Rumble, and things are really getting heated up tonight. This is the last stop before the next episode, and then it's the Royal Rumble and the start of the road to WrestleMania. Still several unfinished business to take care of here tonight, including an issue between the NWO and D-Generation X. They are only back together for business purposes only for a limited time, to try and take out the NWO, and tonight they will be out here. Triple H and Shawn Michaels are back together, but it is only for the reason to take out the NWO. They are put their personal differences aside to try and get to that aim, and tonight it may be a start, because Triple H is going to go one-on-one with Kevin Nash. One of these men could be walking out of the Royal Rumble as the winner, but we will see here tonight. And we now kick off Metal, the final Metal before the Royal Rumble. A night of intense action ahead of us. And you want to talk about intense action? That is exactly what happened this past week when Raven returned to NLW after being taken out at Heatwave by Bray Wyatt. But Raven is back right now, and Raven is back with a vengeance. He will be hoping to win the Royal Rumble himself, but will he make it there? Because at the Royal Rumble, a match that has just been announced in the past week, it is going to be at the Royal Rumble that this match finally takes place. Bray Wyatt versus Raven, and get this, it is no holds barred, no disqualifications, no countouts. You got to beat your opponent so badly in these types of matches. They are brutal, and Raven is certainly a brutal individual. He will take you out at any given moment. And what does he have to say to Bray Wyatt right now?
Possession is 9/10 of the law. The greatest prize this sport has to offer. A prize that men of honor and distinction like Jack Briscoe, Harley Race, and Dory Funk have held. But times have changed. There's a revolution going on. Just doesn't seem to get it. To right this egregious wrong. Some of you may call me mad, twisted, tortured, an evil genius, perhaps insane. But who are you to judge me? And when the light of my brilliance shines down upon you, you all scatter like the cockroach that you are. I will do what I must to show you the error of your ways. If I have to, I will urinate in your bone marrow.
What?
I will rip off your neck and use it for a latrine.
Jesus.
A wise man once said, you remember more the things you survive, more than the things you enjoy. What I have planned for you is something you will never, ever forget. Welcome to Raven's Clockwork Orange House of Fun. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
Bray Wyatt, if you think you have issues, if you think you're insane, watch this man and take notes. Because this is the original man, this is the original crazed individual, and Raven is out for vengeance. Bray Wyatt says he's the new face of fear, but Raven aims to tell him to stop hang on a minute. And yet again this, whatever the hell this is, what the hell does that mean? Unleash the demon? I don't know. It's not Bray Wyatt, we know that, but nevertheless you can see that Raven is still popular as ever, and he aims to take out Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble and maybe go on and win the Royal Rumble match. As he stands in the ring, a confident man, but one man who certainly isn't confident as of late is Mr. Anderson. And there you see, this is footage captured earlier today. Mr. Anderson, we know that the 24/7 rule in his hardcore title matches, all of them, are in effect. It's 24/7, and this is what happened earlier today. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure that I'm going to see it now. What the hell is the Brood there? And there you can see, the Brood assaulting Mr. Anderson at the bus stop. This happened earlier today. We're just showing you it now. The Brood trying to get revenge on Mr. Anderson after they took them out with chair shots this past week. And look at this, sending him into the bus station, into that bus shelter, and it comes colliding down. And Mr. Anderson still having to be on his toes everywhere. And you want to talk about being on your toes. These men have got a lot to say for themselves. Especially this past week, the commissioner explained his actions. And of course, D-Generation X reuniting, not because they're friends, but because they have common enemies. They want to take out Nash, and Nash tonight has a match against Triple H, and it's our main event tonight on Metal.
In what was the second most viewed event in NLW history, the Royal Rumble will return. 30 men will enter the ring for an over-the-top rope battle royal, but there can only be one winner. Who is going to go on to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 2? The stakes have never been higher. This is one to remember. Who will fulfill their destiny and win the 30-man Royal Rumble? Who will be the one? NLW Royal Rumble live.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Metal. You are looking live, and as you can see in the ring, we're going to get a little taster of what is expected to come at the Royal Rumble with a 5-man over-the-top rope X Division Battle Royal, where the stakes are insanely high. Because you see, the winner of this upcoming Battle Royal is going to challenge that man, Austin Aries, before the Royal Rumble. That is right. At the Royal Rumble, we know there's going to be the Royal Rumble matchup, and it would be huge for any of these wrestlers to win that matchup. But before we go live, it is the next Metal, episode 22 of Metal, in fact, the Royal Rumble pre-show, where Austin Aries will put his title on the line against the winner of this Battle Royal, and it's got underway here. There you see Sin Cara and Akio working on each other, as Chavo Guerrero is almost going to be eliminated, but there you see Billy Kidman, and of course Christopher Daniels, and now it's going to be fast-paced, there's no doubt about that. The X Division hot in here tonight, and you can see Sin Cara almost taken out by Akio, but then you can see Chavo Guerrero going after him. And now you can see Sin Cara's reluctant to really stand up, otherwise he could get thrown over the top rope, and he knows that. And of course Austin Aries is going to be all eyes and ears watching this battle right here, because the winner is going to be challenging for him for his title. But there you see Chavo Guerrero with the drop kick to Sin Cara and allows his partner to pounce. And Kidman thinks he's eliminated Sin Cara, but Sin Cara hangs onto the apron. And then you can see Chavo Guerrero. Can't believe he's still in this, but now Guerrero is gone. And Chavo is the first casualty of this over-the-top rope matchup. But a punch to Kidman sends him away. And now on Christopher Daniels takes out Sin Cara, arguably one of the more popular men in this matchup. But now you can see Akio back on him again, and here's a Tornado DDT, the man who this past week debuted in an impressive showing against the Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho, and tonight hopes to get a X Division title matchup before the Royal Rumble on the pre-show. And there you can see he might almost get eliminated here, but now Hurricane Rana and Billy Kidman is gone. And we are down to 2. And like I said, this is kind of a taster as to what we can expect in the Royal Rumble matchup at the Royal Rumble. But this is for something different. This is for a shot at the X Division title and a shot at Austin Aries before the show begins. And there you can see Aries on the outside, but Akio in the ring telling him to lock it up. Goes for a hip toss, blocked off, but now you can see stunning him down. And now again trying to throw Akio out of this, but Akio is hanging on. And Daniels can't believe he's still hanging on. Goes after him, but what a kick to the nose. And Akio may have broken his nose right there. But now you can see, going for the springboard maneuver, but there you see Daniels is back in it. Crouches him, and oh my, what a clothesline. Clothesline and Akio right out of his boots. And unfortunately for him, he's not the one going to the Royal Rumble to face Austin Aries. It is Christopher Daniels. Daniels has earned the right to challenge Austin Aries, and after a rough couple of weeks following Ultimate X, he gets yet another shot. And now we'll show you how this match ended. What a kick by Akio, right to the bridge of the nose, and when he tried to come back in, boom, crotched right on the top rope, and then a huge clothesline. Clotheslines Akio right out of the matchup, and unfortunately for him, he's not getting the title matchup. It's going to be Daniels. And now you can see Aries is face to face with the man who he is going to face in a few weeks' time, 3 weeks to be exact, on the Royal Rumble pre-show. Of course, both of these men are going to be in the Royal Rumble, but who is going to be entering the Royal Rumble as the X Division champion? Akio can't believe he's lost this, but more opportunities will come for him, I'm sure. The fact remains is that Daniels is the number one contender, and it is going to be Austin Aries versus Christopher Daniels on the Royal Rumble pre-show for the X Division Championship. Can't wait for that one, but I can also not wait for this. It is going to be Triple H versus Kevin Nash. The NWO and DX members will go one-on-one in our main event of Metal. We've seen Nash in the back getting prepped up, but they are going one-on-one up next. Mark the date on your calendars. October 10th is when the Royal Rumble is coming your way live. Only the second ever NLW Royal Rumble, and it is happening on that date. And so many incredible matches have already been made for that event, including this one, made just this week by the Commissioner. It is going to be Chris Jericho defending the Intercontinental Championship against R-Truth. Truth, according to the Commissioner, has been overlooked, and now that the Commissioner is in charge of the NWO and NLW, he has given R-Truth this opportunity to shine. Will he take advantage? And you want to talk about taking advantage? Bray Wyatt has taken advantage with his mind games, trying to take advantage of Raven, but Raven has a chance to get revenge. It is no holds barred at the Royal Rumble. You've heard earlier what Raven was willing to do to take out Bray Wyatt, and it's going to happen at the Royal Rumble. No holds barred. This is also going to be no holds barred, but it is going to be contained inside a steel cage. Orton faked the injury, and now he is going to pay perhaps at the hands of Kurt Angle. But will Kurt Angle be 100% since we haven't seen him since he was assaulted by Randy Orton a few weeks ago? But it's going to be in a cage at the Royal Rumble. And a beast unleashed in the form of Sting. Sting is pissed off and he wants to regain the World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles cashed in Money in the Bank, and his celebration was cut short this past week by Sting. But it is finally going to be the rematch at the Royal Rumble, AJ Styles versus Sting for the world title. And who will be the number one contender? We are going to find out. It is the 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble matchup. The winner is getting a world title match at WrestleMania 2. The stakes have never been higher. It is the Royal Rumble, and it is on October 10th, and you do not want to miss it, because the winner is going to get a shot at the title of Mania. But you want to talk about great, dangerous situations. It is going to be on the next episode, episode 35, a triple threat matchup. Hardy, Undertaker and CM Punk, but this time whoever is pinned is going to be number one in the Royal Rumble matchup. The Commissioner dishing out the punishment to the Undertaker, Punk and Hardy. And a huge matchup before we're scheduled to have the Royal Rumble, an all-star matchup. It is Sting, D-Generation X and Chris Jericho taking on AJ Styles and the NWO. That epic main event happens on episode 35. And with the knowledge of that huge main event in mind, how do you suppose that the next two men going to be competing out here are going to handle themselves in this upcoming matchup? You hear the music of the Wolfpack, the NWO, the iconic music. and they're about to make their way to the ring. Kevin Nash, more specifically, making his way to the ring for this upcoming matchup. One half of the NLW Tag Team Champions, obviously along with the Big Show, and he is out to prove why the NWO is not only a dominant tag team, but also dominant in singles division as well. Kevin Nash tonight aims to quell DX's recent uprising and reunion by defeating them, but obviously the NWO, as we all do, know that DX are fragile at the moment, especially considering they're only together to take out the NWO. Personally together, they hate each other, but they are doing this for the common goal, to take out the common enemy, and that may very well happen here tonight. They're not buddy-buddy, but they're certainly confident. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, collectively, they are known as D-Generation X, and Triple H tells Kevin Nash what he thinks of him as DX made their way to the ring right now, as Triple H is waiting for one-on-one action, and now, not even waiting for the bell to ring, already going after Kevin Nash in this main event. This is one-on-one, Triple H versus Kevin Nash on main event of Metal, and it starts right now. You can see Triple H relentless on him right here, and ever since DX reunited officially this past week on episode 34, they have been wanting to get their hands on the NWO yet again, and it is happening right now. Kevin Nash being pummeled, and there you see a little message sent to the Big Show right here. Big Show and Kevin Nash, the party was cut short this past week. The Commissioner joining the ranks of the NWO obviously this past week as well, but it was cut short. As you can see, Triple H cutting Kevin Nash down to size with his figure 4 leg lock, and already Nash is in trouble. He's in the middle of the ring, and it's well known the quadricep problems that he's got, as well as Triple H, as he reverses the pressure there in that figure 4 leg lock. And now Triple H is on his feet, but maybe not for long, as Kevin Nash goes to work on him, whips him into the corner and picks him up, and the sidewalk slam by the big man. Big Sexy going to work on Triple H right now, as Shawn Michaels looks on at ringside. It's well documented the history that Triple H and Shawn Michaels have, especially here in NLW. It's not a happy one. They have been bitter enemies, one of the biggest rivalries in NLW history, but tonight they forget about that to take out the NWO. Somebody has to, because the Commissioner's certainly not going to anymore after he's declared himself the leader this past week. And obviously, R-Truth, his celebration being cut short by Shawn Michaels, and obviously not out here tonight. Neither is the Commissioner. This is about Nash and the Big Show. Sound strategy by the Commissioner, but sound strategy by Triple H right now to work on Kevin Nash. Nash is on the outside here, but sends him shoulder first into the steel ring steps, and that may have busted up his shoulder right here, as Nash sends Triple H back into the ring. Big Show obviously happy to see Nash up again, and now you can see right there the forcefulness of that elbow and power slam. Triple H warily on his feet, but brought back down, my God, with a boot. And now you can see Shawn Michaels shouting words of encouragement to Triple H. They may not be friends, but they certainly know how to form a great collective unit. But right now that's irrelevant, because Kevin Nash has that boot right into the esophagus of Triple H, and a massive clothesline sent him down again. The tag team champions having their way right now, and they're going after him, but a spinning net breaker. And this may be the opening that the game needs to get back into this matchup. Our main event of Metal here tonight, only a few weeks away from the Royal Rumble here, and it could very well be one of these men who walks out victorious of the Royal Rumble. The Commissioner was certainly sounding confident this past week when he declared that at least one member of the NWO was winning the Rumble and going on to WrestleMania. But we shall see, as Kevin Nash has him held with that foot, and you can see Shawn Michaels trying to push the rope towards Triple H, but it's not needed at the moment. Drives a foot right into the face of Nash. He's back up on his feet, but now delivers a spine buster, and Big Daddy Cool is on the mat. Once again, Kevin Nash is down. He's dazed, and he's going to have to get back into this sooner or later, as Triple H senses he wants to signal for the end. He's going to try and hit that pedigree, is he? But it's well backdropped into another backdrop and a pin combo. But instead, Triple H still kicks out. But you know, Triple H is in control, wants to go after him again, but look at this. And how is this fair? Big Show holding his foot here, Still. Oh, and a massive super kick by Shawn Michaels, but kicked away again. Michaels is on the floor after hitting that super kick onto the Big Show. But look at this. Out of nowhere, the pedigree. Pedigree by Triple H. And Triple H picks up the victory over Kevin Nash. Humongous victory over one half of the NLW Tag Team Champions. And D-Generation X is having a hell of a week. Firstly reuniting to take down the NWO this past week. And now Triple H picking up a huge victory over Kevin Nash. And just a few weeks before the Royal Rumble, the NWO is going to have to pull something out of the bag. If they're going to get any momentum, they're going to have to do something to try and make the Commissioner's prophecy come true. Well, all the commotion out here, it led to this. Triple H hitting the pedigree onto Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash was down for the 3 count. And there you can see him still holding his head. Big Show obviously feeling the effects of the super kick also, but the Tag Team Champions suffering yet another hiccup. DX, a business decision has brought them together, and now you can see, oh, hang on a minute. Well, Triple H obviously not expecting that, and oh my! Now come on, guys. I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels are on the brink, and you can see Kevin Nash nodding because he knows that DX are about to implode. We told you this was a fragile relationship. They don't like each other, folks. They want to take out the NWO, but there are still obvious trust issues. And are the NWO going to take advantage of this?